What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Sonny, you want to say what up?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sunny D. What's up?
All
Happy New
right.
Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah, this is our first show of the new year. That's what's up. That's what's up. And definitely glad to be here. Definitely glad to have another great conversation with some great folks. Hype should hopefully be on soon. Not sure if Damon's going to be on, but we hold a spot for him. So tonight we got some great topics to discuss, some viral topics and some trending topics. So looking forward to that. Make sure you guys chime in, jump in the comments. We love to hear from you, the audience, and we'll definitely put your comments up on the screen, speak directly to them, and have a great time. So, Sonny, you know how we do this.
Yes.
All right, so I got a couple of topics on deck, and I think we're going to grab some other topics out of the GFT Join the Conversation group if we have some more time as well. So make sure you guys go over to Facebook and join that group. Join the conversation over at facebook.com/group/GFT Join the Conversation, where folks are having a great time. I almost went over there today, or not today, yesterday, to reintroduce myself because it's been a minute since I've been on.
I was about to say, yeah, you've been mad low. At least I pop in from time to time.
Yeah. I've been, having a little social media hiatus a little bit. I haven't really posted much. I haven't really had a chance to get in the group much. But I'm trying to make some more time to do that here, and hopefully, get engaged with the folks. You know what I'm saying? Doing the show is one thing, but staying engaged with our folks online is always fun. So make sure y'all do that though. Even when I'm not there. Don't forget, like, follow, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we are online, so that you can catch us in all these great conversations and topics that we do here on the show. So all right, so first things first. I just watched a few different videos about this situation, this viral church apology that's been discussed, or is being discussed, and even more new developments have come up. So definitely wanted to speak on that. Have you heard about that one, Sonny?
No, you're saying church apology for what?
So yeah, recently a young lady, a video was passed around of a young lady going up in front of her church to basically do a apology to the church because she's underage as well as unmarried, and she's pregnant. So she had to get in front of her church and make an apology, letting them know that she was sorry for getting pregnant and all those things. And then the pastor, he got up and was saying how he was glad that she came up to repent, and that he felt that nobody should throw her a baby shower, nor should they be attending any baby showers for her. He said that he believes that her repentance should be now, not later, and that she should be basically punished, for what she's done. And the recent thing, outside of a lot of the backlash, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have been saying how they feel about that situation. But recently, the mother has posted and given her 2 cents on the matter, saying that she felt like that's the way their church does things, and it's not for anyone else to judge. It's not for anyone else to demonize their church, demonize their pastor, and she fully supports her daughter, and that she felt that that's something that they do at their church, and so no one else should judge that. So, what's your thoughts on that?
If they don't want somebody to judge it, how did they get on social media for people to have an opinion about it or know about it? So. Right. It's one of those things where when you're in social media, of course, they want to make an appearance while I'm talking. When you thank you. When you put things on social media, you can't tell people what they can and can't react to. That's right. On any social media platform, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, OnlyFans, X, Instagram, or whatever. If you put it on there, you're opening yourself up for positive and negative feedback. So you can't tell people that they should just respect it. No, if you wanted it respected, then you wouldn't have recorded it and put it on social media. And if you want people to have their opinion formed, then the only people opinion would matter in that situation is the people who saw it, right? And of course, they're in agreement of it because they're a part of the church.
Right. Yeah, right. True.
I'm sorry, I'm like disciplining why, because he just come down here and want to make a noise. But yeah, how you choose, if it's on social media, then you can't dictate how that works out. You can't put it out there and then be like, no, well, you can't react this way because this is how we handle things. Well, you should have handled it privately.
Mm-hmm.
So no outsiders will have an opinion. So now that it's outsiders having it, we're going to have an opinion. So this is one of the biggest problems I feel like is with the church, right? I grew up in church. Go have a seat. I grew up in church. We know we're not supposed to have sex before marriage. We're taught that. It's not like we don't know these things. We're taught that, right? But at the end of the day, let's keep it a buck. People do it. She ain't the first, last, won't be the middle, anything, right? It's happened before. So while we don't like it, you can have, and it's been points. I know for me growing up in the church, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was told I couldn't participate in certain things because I was pregnant and I wasn't saved nor married, right? Well, not more so saved than married, but both those. If you know, you grew up in church, both those things. And it's a problem because a lot of us girls had teen pregnancies. Now, I was grown when I had my daughter. I was grown while pregnant with her. Yeah, I wasn't grown, but I was newly grown. But at the end of the day, nonetheless, I had finished high school, stuff like that. I think it makes never mind. But when you willfully exclude people, then it causes them to step away from church. And this is why a lot of the churches, while I understand old school antics and old school way of rule, it's almost like growing up in the church where you say that women can't wear pants.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm yelling at him, but it's basically saying, oh, you can't wear pants, but then getting upset that somebody's wearing pants, but they show up to church every Sunday. They pay their tithes and stuff like that. Now they're well aware that women should wear dresses. This is what we were raised on, but doesn't mean we have to do that. So now you're telling me because I'm wearing pants, no. Because I'm wearing pants, you're telling me now I can't participate, so it makes me not want to come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a detriment to all the kids, whether or not, yes, was it a bad decision? Was it a probably a mistake or something that she didn't expect? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you're now, if she chose to apologize, let that be her own choice. To make her apologize is crazy to me. That's the part that's crazy, because I don't know, like if you're saying that, oh well, she was told that she had to do this, it's crazy. Now if that's something that she chose to go of her own volition to say, listen, I apologize, I was raised better than this, and this is, I made because of my poor decisions, the poor judgment, I did this, and therefore I don't want a baby shower, I don't want this, that, and the third. That's cool. Who are you to say that she has to do this, she's required to do this, and that she can't celebrate a new life coming into the world? Like, yes, I get it as a parent, right? You don't want your minor to say, hey, I'm pregnant, and like feel like you're celebrating this person, but you also don't want this person, this child out here struggling to try to figure out what they're going to do to take care of baby.
Right.
Because baby stuff costs lots of money. It's not cheap. The most cheapest thing you could buy is bottles, maybe even onesies, but not then. I think bottles probably the cheapest, but nowadays it's not. Like the cheap bottles that don't really hold the milk properly and don't care about like what your baby can work with. But like the cheapest thing you could buy is possibly a generic bottle. So everything costs. So now it's like, okay. And even if she doesn't want to have a baby shower, the parents, the grandparents can participate in make sure that baby has stuff from when it's there, like a stroller, a car seat. Those things cost. If she's 15, I'm pretty sure she don't have a full-time job that can make her afford all these baby items if it's on. Especially as a girl, you don't know if that boy is ready to be a parent. He probably may or may not have told his parents, and now she's on her own. So she's just gonna struggle. Like,
right, yeah.
It's the same church who probably was against her if she wanted them. I don't know, but if she wanted abortion, they were probably against that. That's why she's having this kid. So you don't want to help her. Like it's so many levels to this where I can go, but I'm gonna let you talk.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely punishing, her continuously about, like you said, not allowing her to get the benefit of a baby shower or to get support, while she's either pregnant or once she has the baby, just definitely doesn't sit right with me. To the point about, the her being forced or her parents, what their stance is. This was the post here from her mother, stating that they weren't forced or manipulated into standing before the congregation, that the daughter willingly approached the congregation. I don't know. I tend to question the willingly
I don't buy
approach the
that. I
congregation
don't buy
part,
that unless
but if that's the case, that's the case. I'm sure it has something to do with how, like you said, how they were, raised in this church and how things are done in this church. I'm sure there's some level of encouragement to being done. But regardless of that, like you said, adding in the additional part of don't support her during this pregnancy just is insult to injury in a way. But I was watching another YouTuber who had posted this comment here, not the one that we're looking at here, particularly the not this person, but they posted this particular post, and he was talking about how in his church that they do the same thing. That there's certain types of churches, the way they're set up, that they expect members to give public apologies. He called it testifying. When I was in church at a certain church back in the past, the idea of testifying was to give your admonition of things that were done, but also to state, to tell how God helped you through your sin, or helped you through your troubles, or helped you through the things you were going through to get away from the sin, to get out of the trouble you were in. And those testimonies were more of inspiration to others, not apology. Also being apologetic to a congregation, right, and then being apologetic to your congregation. Your congregation isn't there to save you. God is there to save you. Your Savior is not in that church. The person you're praising is not in that church. That should be God. That should be Jesus if you believe in Jesus. So saying that she has to apologize to church just seems a bit much to me, in my opinion.
And they're not better than, they're not above God. So like at the end of the day,
exactly
what he without saying cast the first stone. Who are you to judge me, to make me feel like I gotta apologize to you? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, yes, she could talk to her mom and say, I apologize, Mom. I know you didn't want this for me at this young age and stuff like that. Or apologize, Dad, this is not what you wanted for me and this, and the third. But like, I'm pretty sure you don't want me to abort it. So like, I got it. This is me having this baby. So like, how would, can you help? Because obviously I'm 15. I still need to take care of. Yes, I made this adult decision, but at the end of the day, like, it's just, for me, is nothing about this says, like, I don't owe, like, I'm sorry. I was 18 when I was pregnant with my daughter. I didn't apologize. I'm not apologizing to nobody. Not in the church, not to my mama, nothing. I'm just not.
Yeah. It definitely screams manipulation. It definitely screams, like you said, trying to be above God and things like that. But there's churches out there like that, and as her mother said, that's where she chooses to be. That's where she chooses to raise her daughter. She wants her daughter to move in a certain way, and that's why she's there, and that's why she's okay with what happened there. I personally don't think that you have to explain yourself to a man about things that you've gone through or mistakes that you've made, and ask for their forgiveness. I mean, in the video, she asked for her church's forgiveness instead of asking God for forgiveness. I thought that was wrong. Admitting that you have done wrong is one thing, but to have to ask your congregation for forgiveness and ask them to give you the to be in their under their admonition, or being there, have them chastise you, just seems backwards.
I just feel like I said, I don't want to say through this because I haven't been through this, but I know, like I said, in my church, it was more so we can't celebrate you being pregnant. So it will look, it's frowned upon to be up there pregnant without marriage and being saved, because you can sing in the choir, but like top of that, you're out here pregnant, you ain't married or nothing. So like this is, we can't showcase you, right?
Right.
But even to that, I felt the way, because it's like I've been in this church, I've been doing stuff without being saved, participating with no problem. And now that this is something visibly you can see a sin, now I can't participate as much as I would. And it's like, it's one of those things that I feel like it's to the detriment. Like I understand it, but it's to the detriment, because then it's like I can't participate. Why am I going? Because you can absolutely take my tithes with no problem. There's no shame in that. You can absolutely do a collection. There's no shame in that. But it's a shame that I'm pregnant, so now I can be seen and not heard kind of vibe. Like, or heard and not seen at this point, because we don't want to see you in the state, because we don't want to promote that this is good for the younger youth coming up. And I understand that to an extent, but it's just, that's probably one of the reasons why I stopped going to church.
Okay.
Because it was like, when I wanted to be there and probably needed to be there the most, I felt unaccepted. So therefore I stopped going.
Right. So that brings up my next question. You know, are situations like this the reason people are not in church, or is it something else? You know, and I mean, you bring up a good point. A lot of people do feel pushed away at times, or unfairly judged, or even unfairly, you know, criticized when they go to church. Gossip is a huge thing, you know, where people feel like people are in their business and people are trying to put them on blast, or put them on the spot when others are doing the same thing, or when the things that they're doing have nothing to do with church. And you know, so do you feel that this is one of those factors that really pushes people out of the church, or keeps people from feeling like they can be as religious as they want to be?
Yeah, I feel like if Jesus accepted prostitutes and everybody from every walk of life, why can't I be accepted? I may not be perfect, but like I show up here. And like a lot of churches feel like people aren't showing up to church, and I'm actually here. And now you make me feel like I don't want to be here. It's almost like going to a job where you hate it, but you go every day, and then you finally find another job to where you love it. Like I love this place, and this place has rejected me to some degree. So like, as much as I'm coming back and feel love, I feel like an outsider. So, okay, let me go somewhere where it's acceptable. And for me, like I said, I went to different churches, and I didn't feel like it was home, because I knew what my home church was. But at the same time, I feel away. And it's like, now that I don't go, when I do show up, it's appreciated, right? But it's like, I'm not going for appreciation. I'm just going because I feel like I needed to go at that time. Like, I'm that person that I'll show up, not necessarily during holiday season, but on some random Sunday. And it's like, oh, you know, so-and-so's here. I'm happy to see you. Good to see you, blah, 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 blah. And it's more like I could have been here this whole time. There wouldn't be like, you ain't seen me in 6 months or a year. I done had 2 kids, and now both of them, like, one is grown with their own baby, and now I'm showing up with my 11-year-old, and it's like, we in church. Like, I mean, I've been in church throughout my life, but it's just like, I would have been more consistent.
Yeah.
If I felt accepted. Like I said, but I also understand, and that's that struggle for me, is because I understand their point. I understand why, but how do you fix that imbalance? Because this is why people don't come. This is why people don't show up. So many of us that I grew up in church with don't necessarily go, and we do the random pop-up visits because we miss it. That's our home. Like, that's where we grew up, and that's what we know. So when life is life, and it's like, I want to go home, this is where I'm going to go. Like, I can go visit so many other churches, and have a good time, hear the word and everything else. Like, I was in Family Dollar the other day and playing Kurt Franklin song. I posted on my Facebook because it's one of my mom's favorite songs, that whole album. But like, I'm the type of person, I go to church, you sing them old school church songs, I'm in there like, this is home. Like, I can get into the old Hezekiah, the early Hezekiah, the Kurt Franklin, like all of them, all that. And it's like, that hearing that music takes me back to a place when I was in church every day. Right. And being able to sing in the choir, being able to participate and be in the different events. We had choir, we had oral talk times, we had Sunday school and those things, and I used to go. And it was like, I love that. Like I needed that. Like I needed that more in my life in these last couple of years than I needed anything. But it's like, how do you get back into something that feels like home, but then it's new because it's new people. It's new. It's a lot of new because in my church there's a lot of changes with new people going, people pass. I go there and stuff like that, whatever. But it's like, this is my core of home that I'm used to, and it's not some of the same faces. So it's still like an outside because I don't know some of these people, but I do know the old timers. I know them. I'm called old timers because they my like generation that I grew up in church in. So right. It's like when I see them, I'm happy to see them. I'm glad to catch up and talk to them and stuff. I still talk to someone on Facebook in and out, text and call and stuff like that just to check in. Speak up to call my godmom because she ain't call me back. But I'm just saying, like, that to me, like, it's home for me. So it's sad, but like I said, I understand it. But at the same time, it does push the youth away, or the people that have the intention to go, whether or not we're not perfect, which I know they don't want us to be perfect, but like, and we all we all have faults and stuff that we need to work on. But that's why we're coming.
But to your point about the youth, right? And that's one of the things I was focused on when I thought about this question, is that I see so many young people who have either grown up in church or even their parents may have pulled away from church while they were young, and so they don't even have a basis, but they see these things, especially on social media and viral posts and things like that, and it makes them feel even less attached or connected, and definitely seeing them feel like the church doesn't have their back, or that the church can't be a home for them because they feel like they're being judged, or that they're being put upon because of how they look, how they act, because it's not the old school ways, or it's way different than how it was back in the old days, and they feel like they don't have a connection. I definitely feel like that's one of the things that definitely keeps people kind of disconnected. One thing that for me, certain churches that I had gone to and stopped going was, like you said, the not feeling connected, but also, a lot of the mismanagement for me. When I was younger, I went to a church where I felt like they were, basically stealing from the congregation. I felt like the leadership and their family were just siphoning money out of the church, and that turned me off so bad. And I was 10 years old at the time, and could see that, for myself, and I just felt like it was a thing that just kind of just turned me off and pushed me away from there. Just because I'm the kind of person I hate a thief. There's one thing about a liar, but a thief is even worse to me. What up, Dohine?
Copy that, bro. Yeah. I was just about to say that, man. Ain't nothing worse than I remember like one night somebody stole the weed, and I'm like, nigga, I don't even smoke and I'm offended.
Right.
I'm like, nigga, you mean like we was at my brother's house, and I'm like, nigga, you think somebody came in the house and like, my brother, this is his house, this is where my sister, the kids, like, nigga, this is a violation. Ain't no stealing.
A total violation.
Yeah, stealing is out the question. You can't have them type niggas around.
No, not at all. Not especially not leading a church of all places. Like, and that's my thing. I went to another church, where I felt like they were doing good things for their people, but they didn't do anything for the community, and they were against doing things for the community. At least the way I felt, the way they acted, the way they moved. I just felt like they were like, if you're not in here, you against us, or you're not against us. But they felt like if you weren't in there, you weren't important enough for them to think about. Like that and it's one thing to want to take care of your people. I support that. That's good that you say, you know what, you guys are here supporting us as an organization and as a church and as a home, and we're here to help you. But then just turn around and then be like, you know what, this community is not worth it for us to look out for as well. And I'm not saying you got to go and do everything outside of your budget and all the things like that. But if you have the budget, or if you have the time, or if you have the resources, make use of those resources. There's, people who may want to come, but they can't because they don't have transportation or they don't have clothes. A clothing drive would be nice for them. Let's say that they just have a homeless population or a population of people who have low access to food resources. Do a food drive. Do something for the community. And if I decide I want to go do something, don't look at me like I'm crazy and say, "Hey, why are you over there doing that when you could be over here?" Like, no, I got time to do both. Y'all got time to do both. Like, it don't have to be an all and nothing kind of deal. It could be both.
Yeah, and that's how I feel like I remember when I stopped going to my church and I was living with my grandma, like I don't want to say it was a mega church, but it was like one of those like flirting with the mega church thing. Everybody knew the pastor. He was really good with the youth. He had this welcome song that just was catchy, and just his vibe. He was more towards getting the youth to come into church, which he succeeded. He had kids that were our age, so we got to get involved with them, choir. Like, he made sure people had stuff to do. Like, once you welcome, you have remember you had like the youth groups and stuff like that. Now, I like that. They had different things that you can participate in, but for me, it was a Baptist church, and I'm Pentecostal, so it was a big a difference of how it was what I was used to. Mm-hmm. And I liked the church. It was very welcoming and stuff like that. My aunt had asked me to join. I did, not really wanting to join, but I did, and everything like that. But like, for me, it was like, this will never be home. Like, I don't care how many churches I go to outside, like, that I can see myself. And there's another church out here that's very popular out here. I like the pastor, like I said, is geared towards the youth, the young adults, and bringing, like, when I mean youth, we're talking about people like me and younger coming in to like be in church, because at this point it's a lot of the old school church members, so you're trying to bring in more of the youth, get them involved in different activities. Now, this one church does, which is a lot of people frown upon, they do a Halloween trunk or treat, because they know all the kids want to do Halloween. Whether or not they want to, they honor it as a religion, part of their religion, they do it because this is half of their congregations have small kids that participate in the little Halloween parade. So they have a Halloween parade. Of course, they don't have like scary stuff like that, whatever, similar to how the schools do it. And we're going to do a trunk or treat and have like this fall festival, but you also know it's for Halloween, right? But the way they do it, so a lot of kids go to do the trunk or treat, but they also do for the whole community. They do a backpacks during the summer for school. Yeah. They do so much more. So this is why they have so much of people that I know that go to their church, because they have a lot of stuff for these youth. Not only young adults and younger kids, because they have so many things for these kids to do. They got all this stuff, mentoring, like all this stuff. So it attracts you to bring your people with families to bring their kids, because there's so many things they could be doing outside of Sunday school, Bible study, choir practice, and all this stuff. Youth groups, they have all this stuff. So it's like an attraction. So
that's
I
important.
Feel like
that's important.
Yeah. Like while it's great for me, I grew up in a church where we didn't do that. Mm-hmm. So I don't condone, like, I don't get mad at them for doing that. That's great. However you want to do it, however you bring the kids to God, is great for me. Like, I don't judge anyone. But I also know what I grew up in and what was acceptable, what wasn't acceptable. So it's like, it kind of, when you grow up in a church, certain things are instilled in you. Yes, you question a lot, because I definitely do. I'm one of the people that question all the religions and got my own spin on why these things don't make sense to me, blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, I feel like we need to get to a point with a lot of these churches and with them bringing in youth. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily by any means necessary, but by positive means necessary, if that makes sense. Yes, and yes. While not highlighting those things, which I said, teen pregnancy is a big one, abortion, stuff like that, and unmarriedness and all that stuff. I get it, but don't do it to the detriment that you're losing the people you want to come to. If you're trying to bring people to God, you're going to bring them whether they're perfect or not.
Right.
I think people lose people because of that.
Yeah. So, Hein, had you heard about this viral church apology where the young lady had to get up in front of the church and apologize to the congregation for getting pregnant, married?
Nah, break that one down for me.
So she
sounds a little crazy here.
Yeah. So the young lady was, got pregnant. I don't know how old she is exactly, but she's I believe she's underage. I believe she's like 16 or 17. And then of course I'm married, and so she had to get up in front of the church, in front of the congregation, apologize to them, tell them that she was sorry for getting pregnant, asked them for their forgiveness, and the behind that, he basically admonished her for what she did, but then also said that anybody who, he told them that nobody should give her a baby shower, that she should continue to repent, and that she didn't deserve a baby shower. She shouldn't be celebrating the sin, and that, no one should give her a baby shower. No one should attend any baby showers for her either. So that was one of the.
She's how old?
I believe I don't know exactly how old she is. I just know that she's underage.
All right, so I can give you the perspective of somebody who had a baby with no baby shower, because my youngest daughter was a COVID. My wife went into COVID pregnant. We didn't, people be getting those things confused. We didn't get stuck in the house and just fuck. So having to have a baby without a baby shower is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We had like a bag of clothes from my mom, a bag of stuff from her mom, and then that was that. So those first couple of diapers and all of that get you through them first couple of months, you desperately need that stuff. I'm quite sure she's not the only person in the congregation to have had sex without being married. We all make mistakes. Some people's mistakes are a little bit, more pronounced than others. But like, why are we looking to shame the girls? Like, she already in a bad situation. We don't even know how young she is, so I don't even want to like just throw out nothing randomly. But you already in a situation where it's like this is an unplanned pregnancy, so now your whole life is in upheaval. Now y'all gonna like make me not even want to come here because y'all like demeaned me, y'all like belittled me, like y'all tried to play me in front of everybody.
Right.
And why would you even want to do that? Especially like if you were supposed to be in a. This be my problem with all of December. Everybody is so giving and cares about their fellow man and all of that. It's the holidays. Everybody deserves to have. Niggas ain't hungry in April. That same person who you fed in December, they not hungry in February. When August rolls around, are they not still in that same situation? Like, if you want to do for somebody, what their religious beliefs has nothing to do with what the message is. The message is that we're going to feed these people. The message is, okay, this girl got pregnant. Somebody in that congregation, I'm sure, had pregnant at 16, at 20, and can be like, I know what that little girl is going through, and I wish I had somebody there to help me, or to say, here's a bag of clothes. This is one thing like I always will try to do. Like, everybody does like the spring cleaning situation where they donate clothes. Right. Nobody ever takes baby clothes though. People will pass them baby clothes from me to my cousin to my brother to like, but there's somebody at that damn shelter or at that situation who needs baby clothes because somebody's in there in a bad spot and they got a 3-month-old, they got a 1-year-old, they got an 8-month-old. So like, I hate when people like try to pick and choose when it's cool and when it's not cool to do these things, because these things are always there. They're always bad situations. People like, things happen. I know neither one of my kids wasn't playing.
Yeah, no, good point. I mean, and that's the thing, is like not only is it, detrimental to just her feelings of, inclusion or acceptance, but also you're punishing her for something that's going to continue to be a punishment for a long time, as well as, you're punishing this child who had no choice in the matter. This baby that's coming along has no choice in the matter, didn't choose to be here. And you're gonna make her suffer for that. Like that's just crazy.
But I also said, I said they probably didn't want her having an abortion. That's why she having the baby.
I was going to 2 places. If she comes to church with this baby, are y'all now like, oh, we don't want to christen the baby, or we don't want to do the baptism, or like how them situations work? Because y'all just demeaned this girl and her baby. Y'all turning her away from what is supposed to be a welcoming place of religion. All religions tell you to come as you are, just come. Like, but y'all looking at the
not them. They said, no, don't be coming up in here with no babies.
and also too though, with the whole
don't be coming up in here with no jeans and you're a woman or pants.
this the whole situation now too. Like you can't even get an abortion in some states. Like everybody going to jail if you go in here getting an abortion. So like, what are we doing here? We know like kids is gonna have sex, and we know that.
Not that abortion is birth control, but even some states won't let you get the morning after pill or contraceptives to prevent you from having a baby. So if you are having sex, and even if you have your 2 times, you can get pregnant. And if you're on contraceptions, you still can get pregnant. So if some of these states are not allowing the contraception as a whole, where they're not allowing us to use birth control, Plan B, or anything to stop being pregnant, the choice is to have a baby or an adoption. And
yeah, and that's a rough joint. Like for you to be pregnant, went through all of those, your body's doing all of this different stuff, and then you forced to give this baby up because you can't even it's not a possibility for you to take care of this baby. Like these is just bad situations all across the board. This is why you're supposed to have, some grown up adult conversations about this stuff before you just start doing stuff. But that's a whole nother episode.
And I can feel like when me growing up, I love my mom, but you talked about sex, you was trying to have it or you was having it. So it wasn't like hey, the birds and the bees, let's not have sex and blah, blah, blah. It was, if you ask me about it or talk about it, you're probably having it or want to have it. And we're not going to have that conversation because you can't have sex until you're grown. And guess what? Got grown, had some sex, and had a baby. No.
Even whenever
it's facts, but I'm not blaming my mom. I'm just saying, but like this is why we need to talk about these things.
Birds and the bees. Me and my dad ain't never told me nothing about nothing. I learned in the streets.
Yeah, we learn from friends. I try to talk to my daughter. She's like, my mom, so and so already told me. I'm like, what? The hell? Why are these kids giving these other kids the conversation?
Because somebody got a little brother and a little sister they taking care of, and they done walked in on their mom 3, 4, 5 times. Or they dad got a girlfriend and they come in the morning and one that come at night. So like, I done been exposed to some things that you ain't been exposed to.
Right.
It's just like the little kid who tells your kid about Santa Claus ain't real.
Just break.
The tooth fairy was never real. That's your mom putting money in your pillow.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Just destroying their childhood, though. All right. So yeah. So no. I definitely agree. It definitely pushes people away, makes people feel disconnected, and it's just punishing them for things that other people are doing. Other people have done.
That's another joint too, bro. People will have them things confused where they'll blame whatever religion that you believe in. They'll blame the church, the mosque, the temple, or whatever because some individual said something. And now you talking about the religion is this, that, or whatever. It ain't that. It's just the dude at the door. It's like he has that issue. He has that problem. And then you done had created a whole different situation for yourself. But that's because people be feeling like they are a little more important than they is.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, so I got another good topic for us. This one just came up in a couple of different conversations, and it was funny because I had seen some videos where people were talking about their well, it was more like people were basically demonizing folks for how they felt about certain topics. And dating topics come up all the time, and some people will agree with them, some people will disagree. But then you get a lot of people in comments saying like, oh, this person is agreeing because they're a pick-me, or this person is agreeing because they're a simp. And it just brought up the question to me, like, why, like, what's wrong with being agreeable to certain situations like gender roles, or allowing your wife to not have to work, or being a woman that loves to cook for her man, or things like that. Why is it okay to have that opinion, and then where instead of being called a pick-me or being called a simp?
Because
I feel like people do that because
don't understand.
Oh, go ahead. All right.
You're having a conversation with somebody who doesn't understand the situation that they're not in. Mm-hmm. plug here. We just talked about this on the episode 160, available now on all streaming platforms tomorrow on the GFT Radio Network, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Life be lifing. We was just talking about this. Like, we're all married. People will always tell you, like, you got to check in with your wife or you got to check in with your husband. It's like, and if you're in a successful marriage or situation, then you absolutely check in with your spouse, because this simply the security aspect. If I'm telling you I'm in South Philly and some shit happens in South Philly, like, you need to know, like, yo, she was down there, or he was down there, or they said they was going here, there, wherever. You need to know that your significant other is in that area, and you know, I know some niggas around here, or I can get down here, my cousins around. It's a security situation. Adults let their spouse know what's going on. If you have this person in the dark, and now, like you said, well, what the fuck was you even doing around there? How did you even get to that part of town? Nigga, you don't work over there. Like, you was over Jersey. How do you get over the bridge? What was you doing? Like, so if you have a person, though, who has never seen gender roles, they've never seen a man take care of the household, a man do homework, pay bills, or any of that, how are they going to expect that from a man? How are they going to receive that from a man? If your mom wasn't the type to, like, make dinner, nurture you, or take care of your physical needs, as far, like, if you were a kid, you just needed a fucking hug. You just needed a little bit of attention. If your mom wasn't that type of woman, then you're not out there looking for that type of woman, because you don't even know some of those things exist. And sometimes you might find out at 48 that, like, oh my God, women do this. But it might be a little too late for you, because you've been in the dark of this situation. You might be like that for a man, or you just might not never figure it the fuck out. And you didn't let.
Oh, did we lose you?
That job didn't mean that you was qualified to handle it.
Oh, I think we lost the last part of what you were saying, but no, we got the point, though, I think. But yeah, go ahead, Sonny. What you were about to say?
I feel like when people get mad because people agree with them, I think it's something. It has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with them. He just, the whole time he's been quiet. He's trying to talk to me. But I feel like it's something with them, because that's like and this is the problem I have with people. Just because you have a different viewpoint or point of view or opinion on a certain situation doesn't make it a fact. It's just an opinion.
Copy.
That's like saying something like everybody go to the bar to go fuck. No, some people actually go to get a drink. Some people go with their friend because their friend want to go, and they're going to grab a drink, and their friend may be trying to pick somebody up, but that doesn't mean that they're just grabbing a drink and being a wingman to their friend. Not necessarily that situation. So I feel like if you go around viewing everything and think that everybody's supposed to agree with your view, and when they don't, they're being a simp. They're only agreeing with, and let alone a female post it. Yeah, a female posts this and guys are agreeing with her. They're just trying to sleep with her. Like, I've heard it all, right?
Right.
Which is crazy to me, because at the end of the day, people can actually agree. Because your viewpoint may be jaded from personal experience of a bad life of people and whatever the hell they were doing to you to make you just have a negative outlook on life, and things like that. And it does have nothing to do with everyone else. If you know that you think outside the box and your viewpoint is never like anyone else's, that's your own personal viewpoint. But it doesn't mean that Joe Schmo and Larry might agreeing with Sophia means anything except for the fact that they're grown people who had a conversation or entertained a conversation and understood what somebody was coming from and agreed.
Right.
Because and we can talk about it's certain, but I think it's also the way people do it, right? Because I've seen on social media where we talk about this multiple times in the Facebook group and things like that. So when we have that child support conversation, right? And you hear females saying that only bitter women want child support from men, right? Because you hear a lot of men say that. She still want me, her feelings still call her, that's why she put me on child support, blah, 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 hoopity hoopla, right? And you get Now, while I can agree that there are some women who put men on child support unjustly, right?
Right.
We can agree that it is some bitter females out there. Those men knew those women were bitter before they even had a kid with them, and they chose to knock them up, and now they're bitter while they're pregnant. They didn't just get bitter when they had a kid. They was bitter at the beginning, right? So this is the double standard of knowing who you're dealing with, because we get bashed about who we're dealing with and stuff like that, right? How we should pick better dudes. We should have laid down with them. Y'all dudes be laying down with some bitter bitches and the gold diggers because you knew she always wanted you for money because that's all you were showing her was money. So now you're surprised that y'all name her call her gold digger. Now she's not with you, right? So while I agree that statement may be true, it does not mean I don't like broad senses where all baby moms are bitter baby moms because they got their people on child support. Not all of us are bitter. I haven't been bitter in the 22 years my daughter been on this earth, and 11 years my son been on this earth. The reason why both my kids' fathers on child support, they know why. You had an option. Be here or give me money. I know it ain't gonna be shit, but you can either get your kid and be productive person and part of their life, or we can choose child support. You don't want to be here, I'm going to go write the child support and collect whatever money I'm going to get. It ain't shit to write home about, but I appreciate it while I'm getting it. It may be $72, but I'm okay with that $72 because at some point that $72 is making you, every time you take it out of anything you have or you pay it, you know that you're paying it for a child that you're choosing to not see. So that's not me being bitter. It's just keeping hope alive that you realize that you have a child, because I know you got a child. You know you got a child. What you gonna do?
Right.
So I'm not bitter. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who they're talking to. I don't care what they're out here doing, meeting people. I can care less about any of that. The only thing I care about is you seeing your child. My daughter's grown, so her dad can choose to do whatever he wants to do. Not do, that's personal issue. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But for my son, dad, yes, you have an option to be in his life or not. One way you're going to be in his life, financially or physically. And we've had this conversation, so you know why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I should never be called a bitter baby mom, but I'm pretty sure to somebody I'm a bitter baby mom. But like, I really don't care what that man is doing. If he's doing something positive, I'm celebrate everything he's doing. Congratulate you. I'm glad you're on the up and up and doing, moving better forward life with either one of my kids' fathers. Glad you're doing the best person you want to be. But I feel like when people get hung up on the pick-me's, it's like you're upset because somebody's agreeing with somebody because their opinion differs from yours. It's like, no, so we can't be going to disagree.
Or not even that, like I can't have my own opinion or I can't have my own viewpoint on something. You know, like that was one of the things. There was a conversation about the being submissive, right? That was one of the bigger ones where you saw a lot of conflict and contention between people in their opinions on that, right? And I remember there was a video, I believe it was Fantasia did a video about it, and she talked about her, you know, being submissive to her husband, things like that. And there was so many people like, oh, she just a pick-me, oh, she's just this. And then people in the comments that were agreeing with it were being called pick-me's and all that kind of stuff. And I just was like, dang, like, you know, they just can't agree with it. That's like, there's something wrong with you can't feel like this is the way you want to live your life too, because that's what you chose. It's not, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But if it's their thing, let them have it. It's not them.
What man
to be submissive to their husband has nothing to do with your life. But like you said, Sonny, you know, they may have had bad relationships, and you can see a lot of people were giving their examples like, oh, I would never do that for a man because, you know, the last guy ran over me and blah, 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 and blah, blah, this. And it's like, that's your situation, you know. I was talking to somebody about that, about how, you know, they felt like they had a great relationships, but you know, the way that they want their relationships to be may not be what somebody else wants because they have their own viewpoint on it. You know, it's not up for us to decide. That's up for them to decide, you know. And I don't think that, you know, you can put your trauma on somebody else. That's the problem, you know.
Yeah, because I feel like with every relationship you have to compromise, right? So like something so light, right? Something so light is if you're dealing with, you're not a smoker, the person you're with is a smoker. Something so light. You have to be meet them, and you have to come to some kind of consensus because y'all gonna be together long term. Yeah, they're not gonna stop smoking. That's, you met them as a smoker, they're just gonna be a smoker. They choose to stop smoking, great, because you don't smoke, great. If they don't, fine. But it's how you are compromised to work that out or anything. If you don't mind it. So like for me, I don't like cigarette smoke. But I've been around cigarette smoke my whole life. My mom smoked. One of my siblings smoke. I've dated guys who did smoke cigarettes, some who didn't smoke cigarettes. So I've compromised. Like we have conversations about certain things I want to compromise on, but I also know like I'm more compromising when the winter comes, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's cold outside.
Oh yeah, because it's cold outside.
Like not a smoker, you don't want smoker in your house. Hey babe, go outside. Smoke. I don't want that. Deal with that, whatever. Or open the window because I don't have when smokers. I know my mom when my mom was a chain smoker, so it darkens your wall and stuff like that. Because you smoke, you're a heavy smoker. So when you come to a non-smoker house, it's just a loud smell that you're not accustomed to because it leaves scent everywhere. And for smokers, they don't even smell it because they just smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we compromise. Okay, babe. I don't smoke cigarettes. Like stuff like. Blacks and weed don't bother me. Cigarettes, it's like crack the window. I don't really want that in my room. Or we know we want to air it out after because I just don't like the smell. But it's compromise. So it might pick me because I don't smoke and I don't necessarily like smoke, but because I'm with somebody that does smoke, I'm a simp. No, I'm a pick me. No, it's just that I understand. I'm a grown ass adult and I understand compromise.
Yeah, that was
the term pick. I don't like the term pick me because. Everybody wants somebody to pick them.
Like absolutely, I got picked. I like it.
Yeah, the concept
is I like being picked.
Yeah, the concept came from somebody who doesn't know how to be in a successful relationship. So they try to demean the shit that makes things work. Compromise is how any relationship works. And so if you're telling me that me compromising, like you said, Newports is a deal breaker for me. But if you decide to be with this person and it's like, all right, look, she gonna smoke, y'all either gonna work that out or y'all not. Like,
but I got called out for being too accommodating. I'm like, well, I am to an extent because, like, if I'm having a function, like I said, we're gonna go back to, or no, you can go to drinking. So if I'm having a function, and I know that 4 of the people that's coming, like my little sister, don't drink. There's a couple people I know that don't drink, right, at all. I don't know what's wrong with them. They just. But if I'm having a function, or like, matter of fact, New Year's. Not this New Year's, but one New Year's Eve, I had a New Year's Eve party. I wanted everybody to come, even the non-drinkers. So we had what we had, apple juice, like like fake champagne, whatever, to accommodate them because they don't smoke. And I'm that person, like if I know who I'm inviting, I know I have to be compromising to everyone. Like, so I like pork. That's another thing. So if I'm having a function, I like pork. But if I know everybody don't eat pork. Then I know if I'm making collard greens, we making turkey necks. I'm making my collard greens, smoked turkey necks. I don't even make regular baked beans. I make vegetarian baked beans. So like these are things that if I know that I'm going to a group function, I don't know who doesn't eat pork, but the option would be anything turkey. Anything I make is non-pork related because I'm going to. I don't know who's. Even if I don't know all gone, the safest choice is turkey.
Right.
Is it make if I'm asking, can you make some greens? I got you. I'm gonna get some turkey neck.
Me and my wife talk about that all the time. How like nowadays you definitely gotta accommodate for people who don't eat pork or no meat at all.
Yeah,
we know a lot of pescatarians and vegetarians. So
yeah,
it's
even
like,
when we had Thanksgiving, my niece made a lasagna. No, baked ziti, but she made my sister doesn't eat meat, so she made. Baked ziti without meat. Like we had a baked ziti, but she made a small baked ziti just for her and stuff like that. But like she got to eat some of the stuff that we made because it wasn't with it wasn't with meat. Some of the stuff she was able to eat because we also knew that she was coming. So so some stuff we got to make that she can actually eat.
If you host something, then you gotta have accommodations for people.
Yeah.
How you going to invite me if you only got pork ribs in this joint? Like
right.
What I'm just get something to drink. Y'all got a chip bowl or something out here? Like, what's the move here?
Right, right.
Now, if I'm doing the a bring a dish situation, I probably still would make it with turkey. But like, I will let you know if I'm making something pork related. This is pork related. Don't touch this.
Well, everything else you gotta ask them. You're supposed to ask them questions before you just start dipping into stuff. If you don't eat anything, if you're allergic to whatever. You're supposed to ask before you just go, man, this is good. Is this good?
We just did our family pajama party, and somebody made the greens, and they was like, who made the greens? And they was trying to figure out who made with what and stuff. But we already knew it was pork, like not pork, turkey. We knew it was like not turkey. It won't. There's a lot of us that don't. There's a lot of us that don't eat pork. Like pork is always going to be on my fork, but at the same time, I know if I'm doing a big function for people that I'm inviting, I'm not going to make pork. Or if I'm making pork, it's pork eaters in attendance. It's more pork eaters than anything. But even then, I think I'm more accommodating because I probably would be making with because my collard greens good whether I'm making with turkey or pork. I'm not making with both, so it don't matter whichever one I'm making with. It's still going to be the bomb.
I'm definitely asking. I don't know why people don't ask. Like, again, you don't know who's allergic to what or whatever. So you have to ask, yo, what's in this? Or what is this?
Yeah. Anything that looked like meat to me, I'll be like, what's this again? Because I got to check. Because
especially when you can't identify the meat.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't identify the meat. I ain't eating it because I need to know. If I can't look at it and see what it is, it ain't for me. But look, I'll tell people like when I have functions, hey, this you already know this is with this. Or my baked beans, I never make pork baked beans. Never. I've never made them. So anytime you see any baked beans that came from me, they are vegetarian. So you already know, and they're thebomb.com. So
we had a catering at one of the setups, and they made like burritos. And I asked the lady at catering, excuse me, what is this? She was like, oh, it's burritos. I said, no, what's in it? She said, I'm just not sure. What the fuck do you mean you're not sure? You're catering. You made this shit. So
apparently she didn't. She probably picked it up at the store.
Hey, bro, them Jones was 1, 2, 3 quesadillas. She put them bitches in a steamer.
Hey, yo, I'm done. He said 1, 2, 3 case. I'm done.
1, 2, 3, little hot water, a little salt sprinkled, and that's what them joints was.
Exactly. All right, I got another good. What was that?
Sonny was just saying about like people with the drinks at the first live show. Somebody's feedback was they didn't have my drink at the bar. Like, so we were supposed to just got a bottle of that just specifically for you.
Specifically for you. Right.
Listen, them drinks was at the first live show, man. Them drinks was, I don't know. You need to get that. I mean, Crush was good too, but
that's my man.
That guy that had them drinks
that
night, man. Them drinks, he was making them like he wanted people to be like, excuse me, sir, I'm from Jersey. I got to get back home. This man has to drive me back home. We don't got time for you to be getting him drunk.
The show that you came to, Willie, he the one that ran that bar. He the one that did the bar at the live show. Yeah, that's my man. Like, man,
he did really good. He made really good drinks. So I was here for that.
All right. So I want to talk about this topic right here. I actually saw this somewhere else first. And then I just noticed it was in the Join the Conversation group. So make sure y'all go over to the Join the Conversation group, join that, check out all the posts and everything. There's a lot of video posts, so I wasn't able to bring up those. But this is a pretty good one here, and definitely worth commenting on. And so I want to get y'all points and opinions on this one. So this was a person posted about a situation they had with their wife, and he wanted to know, did he overreact or was he being petty? And so he says, I'm not being petty. I'm just being real. I got paid Friday, gave my wife $250 for groceries, and I told her that I wanted a nice home cooked meal for Sunday dinner, and she agreed. I got off from work and walked in the house to some motherfucking tacos on a Sunday after I requested chicken, mac and cheese, green beans, or maybe McGreens, mac and cheese and greens. She bought the food. It's in the refrigerator, but she had a house full. And once I came out the shower and looked at her, within 20 minutes, they all left. Her only excuse was that her kids didn't want chicken. They wanted tacos. She didn't think it would be a big deal. He said, them motherfuckers eat whatever she cooks. I took her credit card. If she can't cook what I ask and I pay the bills, you can't spend my money. But now I'm the bad guy. Using my credit card, it's a privilege. All this over some tacos. Did I mishandle the situation?
There's so much with this. I feel like taking the credit card and saying that you pay the bills and she can't spend your money. I'm assuming he's the sole breadwinner of the family and the wife is just a stay-at-home wife. I'm assuming because I'm just reading this the way he's saying how she's spending your money. Y'all married. It's not just. I mean, I understand that you may bring home the bacon, but that's y'all money, bro. Y'all married. It's not. It shouldn't be a separation of this is my money, this is her money. Y'all. I don't know. Copy. That part. That part was a lot. Now I understand him being upset about getting some fucking tacos because tacos is not a Sunday dinner. That's not Sunday dinner for me. I would not have expected. My man walked into. I wouldn't. Yeah, I would have been mad if I walked into some tacos after I said Sunday dinner because Sunday dinner is definitely some soul food. So I don't know why tacos would be on that. And fuck them kids. I mean, then even I don't like the way he said her kids. So those not your kids, bro. I think you doing a lot in this. It's not even being petty. You showing that you coming like you pay the bills and those ain't your kids. And the way that you put this out there it says a lot about you. Because yes, I understand you absolutely entitled to be upset because you asked for a home cooked meal and stuff like that. And she didn't make it. And that's cool because whoever she invited left and everything. And they knew that she was pissed off by the way you came out there and looked at her. And I'm sure she did. So y'all could have had that conversation. You could have been mad. She and her kid could have ate the tacos and you could have went and got some home cooked meal from a store real quick and then let her know, like, hey, this is when I say I want a home cooked meal, this is what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting tacos. That's the conversation. But the way words are a powerful thing. And I feel like the way
very important, aren't they?
You said that about like you went and said though her kids and my money is sending them something, sending signals that I don't think you meant to send intentionally. But yeah.
No, so like Sonny, I'm hearing the words and the words are important. Mm-hmm. Her kids, these are not your kids. You gave her the money, so like this relationship is telling you that they keep score. You can't keep score in a relationship.
Yeah,
if you're going to be again in a successful relationship, not everybody, because everybody do things differently. You can't keep score. You can't be like, oh, I gave you $250 to go buy the groceries. Like, do it really matter? Like, if we're grown here and there's no food in the fucking house, we need to spend money to buy groceries. Right. Now. At the same time, if I communicated, because communication is always a huge thing. I communicated to you that I wanted, look, I want a home cooked meal on Sunday, whatever. You had a couple of days to put that together. Even if the kids wanted tacos, that is great. What the fuck does that have to do with my macaroni?
Yeah, right.
The greens and the chicken.
Like, took them to Taco Bell. I don't know.
You could have made them tacos, but you could have made this fucking food too. You could have had your company and been explaining to your girlfriend, Hype on his way here, and I got to get these turkey butts steamed in this goddamn greens. Like,
right.
So communication is always the problem with these situations. If you keep score in your relationship, though, then we're constantly just trying to one up each other or just waiting to go. Remember the time that I did this for you. Remember the time that I did that for you. It's like, you can't be doing that. Because eventually the other person is going to get burnt out and go, you know what? You got it. Because this other girl ain't never said shit about none of that. I told her ass to make these greens and she made these greens and then put a little whipped cream on top of these motherfuckers. Like,
I definitely agree. This is like you say, a communication issue, a keeping count issue, and definitely not, a recipe for a good yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like you said, I think the thing that did stand out for me was the credit card thing. Like you're going to take the credit card. Like,
oh, I forgot all about that. Damn.
Yeah. Like you're in a marriage and you're talking about my money, my credit card. It's a privilege and all this kind of stuff. Like, why it's your wife. It's a privilege for your wife to
use the credit card to maintain the household.
To be able to maintain the house. Exactly. Be able to maintain the household.
How dare she?
Exactly.
And like a lot of these wings for me, damn it.
Yeah. And like a lot of people's point was like, yeah, we all understand being upset. That's understandable. Being upset that you didn't get what you were looking for.
I was smacking tacos off the counter, but
Right, and I think we've all been there where we've like we want something that we want to eat, we want to, you know, and if that was the agreement and everybody was like on the same page about that, that's what we was all on the same page. So now I'm looking forward to it, right? You know, so you being upset that you didn't get what you wanted, I can understand that, you know, but I don't condone like you're gonna punish her like she's one of the kids and one of her kids, you know, you're gonna punish her because she didn't do what you said because you daddy. I'm like, I don't know what's up with that. Because I know if I gave my wife some money and I said, hey, you know, if you picking up groceries, can you get this and that? If she come back and she happens to get everything except for, you know, 2 or 3 things I didn't want or that I wanted, I'm not about to be like, oh, I ain't never giving you money again. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe she forgot. Maybe she didn't have time. Maybe they didn't have it at the store or whatever the case may be. And like you said, Hype, you know, I think from the standpoint of like, you know, what you should do to be accommodating in that situation, that's a whole different conversation, but it's also important, right? It's important to that relationship. If being accommodating to your husband or to your wife is part of your relationship, which I think would be a good idea, then I think it's important to have that and being able to say, you know what, I know kids, I know y'all are over, I know y'all want tacos, but I'm gonna make these tacos. But while we sitting here talking, I gotta finish this dinner because, you know, my husband's gonna be home in a minute. He gonna want this particular thing to eat, you know. So I definitely agree that should be what's on the mind. But I'm also not gonna come home. Me personally, I'm just not like that. I'm not about to be combative with my wife over something that she just didn't have time to do or that she did. Honestly, I just had a situation where it was like, oh, I'm thinking like, oh, you know, what are we planning to eat? Because we agreed we were going to have something home cooked. We weren't going to go out. My wife called me like, hey, I'm not doing it. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And I'm just like, okay, no problem. I'm like, what do you want me to pick up? Because I'd rather you be happy than me sit here to come home to you being upset. I definitely rather.
Even that though, but you see, like the
she called you and communicated that to you.
She communicated.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm tired. She communicated that.
I definitely said, my boyfriend, I'm listening. Because I know we just went shopping. I think when you buy food, groceries, you're just not about to cook. And she could have been that person, like, because I'm the person, like, I will go.
I'm people.
Grocery shopping in the middle of the day on lunch and come home and see if I cook anything. You better eat something out. I bought something you can warm up. I'm not
right, exactly.
Now I didn't mind you. I went shopping the day of, and then I took out something for the next day to cook. But that day I went shopping, some reason I'm exhausted. I can't be bothered with cooking. That could have been her vibe, and not understand that communication for her part. So I'm not like, she's not exempt from that. But like, you calling them kids MFers, you telling her kids, you saying your money and all this hoopla is telling us who you are, sir. And I don't like it.
If she go to the store, she ain't cooking. But to combat yourself in that situation, after you've lugged all of this shit to the house, you gotta get something that you can throw together quick, like, so that you do still eat. Now you didn't spend the $250 on groceries and then another $40 on takeout. Like, so you gotta fight. Don't fight yourself, but get something that, all right, I could just throw this in the oven real quick. I could throw this in the air fryer. Something that's you might even.
Because she had time, she could have put it in the crock pot and made it like did the size. I'm crock pot queen. I do it when I eat.
Hey, my thing is they got pre-made food in the deli, so
exactly.
Put a couple of those things together. I'm happy. I'm good.
That's why I said you gotta fight against yourself. All right, we're gonna get one of these shrimp lo meins from the market tonight and call it a day. The credit card part I forgot all about, because that's completely childish. Like, again, what are we doing? Like, I'm taking your card because you ain't do what I wanted, or you ain't do what I said. Like, that's not the way to have a decent relationship. You know, that works for y'all, that works for y'all, but I wouldn't recommend it.
right.
My credit card is
not recommended.
No, but here's my part too, because he said I took her credit card.
Privilege.
He said I took her credit card. If you can't cook what I asked for and I pay the bills, you can't spend my money. Now, am I the bad guy using my credit card as a privilege? No, it was hers. You said it was hers. So you got which one is it? Is it hers or is it yours?
Mm-hmm. All right, so now I'll give you a little bit of my situation. I had the American Express. You can buy the Eagles with this fucking card as long as you got them niggas money in 30 days.
Right.
I put my wife on this card, and now I know, all right, I went to Chipotle one day and got me something to eat or some shit. I know this joint gonna be $35. Now I get the shit and okay. So you done went to Chipotle 3, 4, 5 days in a row, goddamn. Now, it is a privilege for you to give somebody a credit card. Like if that was the situation, I don't know if this was the same as mine. That is a privilege. However, I'm not gonna like dictate like, yo, well, you can only use this on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, and in case everything's cool, if I get mad though, I'm taking it. So then you just out in a bad situation. Again, security.
Right.
What if she's out, she ain't got no money, she needed some gas, or she needed whatever. You took the fucking card, so now she's scrambling. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's wildness. That's wild.
I don't like him.
That's doing the most. That is doing the most.
He was acting like a beep beep.
Yeah.
homeboy was tripping.
Very much so. Yeah. I definitely think that some people definitely need a lesson.
I don't like tacos like that. So I'm sorry. The tourist in me, I'm not a taco person. I got to be in the taco mood. Yeah, I would have smacked them tacos off that counter and been pissed. I would have been like, that's what I would have did. I wouldn't even went off. I just would have smacked the shit up thing and then yelled out. I said, home cooked.
I know. Me myself, I'd have been happy with the tacos. I'd have been like, wait a minute. I didn't know tacos were on the menu.
No,
I'd have been right there with them. Like, what up, y'all? What up,
but I got to be in a mood for them. But those like the tacos, but wrapped in the soft taco with the goodness. But I got to be in the mood for them. I don't want them every day, so don't like if I ain't having a while, this surprised me with them. But like if I say home, I want food.
I ain't gonna hold you. If I asked for like a real meal, I'd have been mad at the tacos. But if it's just Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday and I came in here, all right.
Yeah, I would have added them, but like Taco Maria, I would have added them. But like
if I asked for something else though, I'd have said something though. Like, yo, so this is what we doing? Is this what
if I wanted sushi and there's no sushi, I'll be like, wait a minute, where my sushi at? What's going on? What y'all niggas eating? Y'all not eating sushi? Because that's what I ordered.
Let me tell you my anger level for food. I went to this is back when I didn't eat ketchup. This is back when I didn't eat ketchup, and I went to a store
when I didn't.
And I was like, ketchup. I want a cheesesteak, fried onions, mayonnaise, and it was like ketchup. I was like, no. He said ketchup. I said no. He asked me about ketchup about 6 times now. Every time I told him no.
I know there was gonna be ketchup on there.
So he handed it to me. Something say, open this. I smell ketchup. I opened it. There's ketchup in it. And I looked at him and I said, how many times you asked me did I want ketchup? He said, I think about 6. And I said, and why would you put ketchup on it? He said, oh, mommy, I'm sorry, I forgot. I threw that. The way I threw that cheesesteak at that man. Yes, I did get kicked out that store. I absolutely did get kicked out that store. But like, you asked me 6 times that you could remember that I want ketchup. And each time I told you no. Why would you put it on my sandwich? So yeah, that's when I knew I'm a tourist. It's food for me, and you can't be messing up my food. I feel away. Like, but now my temper. That's when I was younger. Now I'm a grown adult. I'm 40 plus. So yeah, I don't do that no more. But back when I was young, I didn't give a flying beep beep. I just was out here throwing cheesesteaks at people with ketchup.
Hey Sonny, that's like if you. I always ask, give me black pepper, a lot of black pepper, a little bit of ketchup, salt. I didn't ask for salt. Where the fuck did you hear salt?
Right, exactly.
I didn't mention salt.
Oh no, I always ask for pepper. I want like when I ask like, oh, let me get a fried, let me get salt and pepper, but a whole lot of pepper. I need to see a lot of black. And then they put a little bit. I'm like, listen, sir, I said I need to see more black.
No, that reminds me of my oldest son.
Not enough pepper.
That part.
No, that reminds me of my oldest son. He used to always order burgers with no cheese. He would always order it that way. He'd be like, I want a hamburger with no cheese. Hamburger with no cheese. I'll tell you 8 times out of 10, they always put cheese on this burger. I'm like, because you keep telling them cheese. He's like, but I said no cheese. You mentioned cheese.
Hamburger.
What they're gonna do? The first thing they're gonna think is, oh, that man wants cheese. They're not listening to you say no.
Why did you just say hamburger? Because hamburger is no cheese.
Is that's what I always used to tell him, but he would never listen. Every time he would open it up and be like, why is there cheese here? I'm like, because you keep telling people to put cheese on your burger.
No, I hate the way people order. I know my son teacher. She's like, can I get a Philly cheesesteak with fried onions, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, the way she ordered is backwards. And then, the guy don't speak no English. And I'm like, give me the phone. Let me get a cheesesteak, fried onions, man, to ketchup. That's all you got to say. You, with green peppers, like the green peppers, because he don't know. And then you tell him this, and then all he heard was pepper. Because he's not registering, because the way you say it is like, I want mayonnaise, ketchup, whatever she say, green peppers, and a cheesesteak.
But they already put.
Give me the phone. Give me the phone. I want cheesesteak, fried onions, man, to catch up with green peppers on it. All right, mommy. And then I go down there and it's right. I'm like, you don't confuse that man. He looked like he sounded like he was super confused on the phone, but he sounded too polite to tell you actually what you ordered again because it didn't make sense to him. Say it the way they say it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hear what the people definitely hear what they want to hear.
No, but it's how you like with them. It's like certain places you gotta know how to order, how to place your order. Like you can't just say, "Hey, I want fried onions, mayonnaise, ketchup, and a cheeseburger." What? Cheeseburger, fried onions, mayonnaise, ketchup. Why are we having this moment that nobody else is having? Because they're like, "What? What you want? What kind of burger do you? What do you want a burger? What do you want?" Like it sounds backwards. I don't know. It may sound right to other people, but to them it doesn't.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I'm sitting there looking like it sounds right to me.
It sounds the same, but like they don't register that way because when they ask you when you say I want a cheesesteak, what you want on it?
So no, that's a good point though, because I forgot where I call. It's a place, and I swear I call there all the time. And if you don't tell them your name, your phone number before you order, they don't know what you don't order. You could say one thing. You could be like, I want to pick up a pizza. They'll be like, okay, what's your name? What's your
then
number?
They go back and
they're gonna still ask you. So what do you want? Like I said I want a pizza. They'll be like, yeah, no, I didn't hear none of that. What you want?
Yeah, because when you go into the store, they say you ask what you want. They ask what you want. Cheesesteak. What you want on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you got to. That's a good point. That's a good point. Sometimes the order matters. The order matters.
Yeah. They little off. They don't speak the English quickly. You gotta you gotta say mayo and everything. You can't even say mayonnaise. You like mayo?
Oh yeah. No, that's
you start talking proper. They're like, what?
right.
Did you know that man that man look at you and the boy that behind it, he's so sweet. He look at you like and you be looking at him and he like and you be worried he gonna fuck up my order, ain't he? He is. Because the way you said it, I'm not mind my business though.
Terrible. All right, great show, y'all. Great show. Make sure y'all get over to our merchandise shop over at gftradio.creator-spring. Pick up some hoodies, some sweatshirts, I thought I had my GFT hoodie on because it looks like this. It looks like this, but it has GFT radio on it. So make sure y'all go over there and get that. It's nice and warm. It looks good. My wife saw me in it the other day. She was giving me all kinds of compliments because my GFT radio show hoodie was looking nice and fly. So make sure y'all go check that out. Also check out our website at gftradioshow.com.
You said, you want your credit card back, huh? That's what you
check out all of our links, our socials, as well as replays for all our shows, as well as audio shows as well from the How to Hustle podcast. So make sure y'all check that out, or make sure you listen free on demand at all your favorite. Most of these don't even exist anymore. I gotta fix this banner, but Spotify done put everybody out the box.
First of all, I think Apple Music told me I can't listen to Hype new show. It said you got to sign in. I'm like, I have never had to sign in a day in my life.
Yay, man! They tried that bullshit with me too.
What?
I'm trying to listen to the show. I listen to it all the time. They're like, you got to sign in. Excuse me, what? I don't even have an iPhone.
It's free on Spotify. Go check it out on Spotify. Google Play Music no longer exists. Stitcher no longer exists. I gotta fix this. So
we gotta change that banner too, bro. Half the radio stations I don't even know no more. I changed that.
Oh shoot. Okay, yeah. We gotta do. We got some work to do. We got some work.
It's a new year. We got a new year, new us. We ready.
Right. All right. So make sure y'all check us out. Where we are is here. So we got plenty of content for y'all. Make sure y'all check us out. GFT Radio Show Mondays at 10 p.m. Make sure you check out the How to Hustle podcast with Hype Mondays at 2 a.m. on your favorite audio platform. Make sure you check. Oh, I guess we don't have any.
Yeah, we'll let that go. We gotta chat with them.
We're working on that.
They call that under construction.
Yeah, under construction.
Right. Right. But we are 10 years in. We'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. So, we've been here a long time, been doing this, and a lot of people have come and gone, but we still here. So make sure y'all check us out. And Sonny, tell the folks where they can find you.
I don't want you guys to find me. You people are acting crazy now. I'm playing. You can follow me at IamSunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. I just posted a TikTok today. I'm working on another one. If I get it, people gonna be hating on me because I got it. But anyway, go to my website, Unreservedly Me, which I will be updating for the new year. Again, I have not posted this year, but I will very soon.
What you gonna do when they get rid of TikTok? That's crazy.
I'm still gonna do my TikToks. I don't know. Facebook got Reels, and so do Instagram.
There you go. That works.
Y'all up on the Blue Sky?
I haven't heard of Blue Sky. There was another one. I can't think of the name of it now. It was one made for Black people. It's kind of similar to Twitter, but it's like Twitter and Reels put together. But yeah, I ain't heard about that one.
I don't know nothing what y'all talk about. They got something for Black folk.
That's what I said. Yeah, you gotta put me up on that one.
Yeah, I gotta find it again. But yeah, it's there's a Black Twitter out there, a real like just
a real Black Twitter, like not a fake one.
Not a fake one. It's an actual Black Twitter.
I saw the Tyler Perry's Twitter. I'm saying
that part.
For sure.
You follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am hype. That's HYMPE. It's hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Episode 160 of the Hot Hustle Podcast with Hype is available right now on all streaming platforms. In case you having an issue with your Apple sign-ins, we are always on the GFT Radio Network at 2:00 every Tuesday, and also on your Spotify's. And if you just Google my name, all of the links will come up. All of the other sites that are still out there. Also at Custom Hustle World on Instagram, Custom Hustle Co. on Twitter. The socks are now available.
Oh, for sure. Gotta get the socks. I love socks. And it's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG and Twitter and Threads. Willie.Styles on Snapchat and TikTok. Visit me over at stylesradio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to. WillieStyles.info for all my links. Get at me. I just lost my mouse. Shit. Sorry.
It's a fine time to do that.
I know, right? Mouse just ran off on the other screen on me. All right. Well, make sure y'all guys check us out. We'll be here again soon. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted to when you can find us. Until next time,
Yo, it's your boy Dame here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Yo, it's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Join us Mondays at 10 p.m. live on Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. And if you miss us, don't worry. You can catch it on our website, gftradioshow.com. And if you feel like talking to us every day, join our Facebook group.
At Join the Conversation, the group where you can discuss all kinds of topics.
Catch me also, Fans Respected, Dope Sports Show. Holla at your boy.
You can cop some merchandise over at our store, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, and even more.
Next time on GFT Radio, what are we talking about? Join the conversation to find out.
Make sure you get at us on GFTRadioshow.com for all of our audio and video playbacks, as well as links to all of our social media sites.